Thank you, Mr. President. We've already heard from several members today talking about how extending FOIA to the legislature and the governor is a good idea. Most people agree with that. Most people have over the years. Most of the criticism that's been leveled at this legislation is that it either doesn't go far enough, or it has too many exemptions, too many carve-outs, or just a few points where it is going to fall short. These are the very reasons, by the way, that when this came up last year, I voted against these bills. I was one of the few people who did and took some heat from it, but I think I was successful. I had a lot of media members call me, a lot of people call me, and it gave me an opportunity to highlight how I think we can do even better at what we're trying to do here. It frankly led to productive conversations with members from both sides of the aisle about fixing some of these things. So I'm offering this amendment that captures a few more changes I would like to see to the bill. Three of them in particular have already been discussed on the floor. The FOIA coordinator for the legislature is not something that should end up being a political appointment that could potentially be weaponized in any fashion. And so my proposed solution to that is that we would have two coordinators. One would be assigned by the majority over all member offices and any legislative FOIAs that are not majority members, and then the other coordinator would be assigned by the minority leader to handle the offices of the majority. And what that would do is ensure that both sides are taking the process seriously, and nobody would be incentivized to weaponize the FOIA process or slow roll it or hide things from the public. A couple of other technical changes inside this substitute. There's an exemption that exists for the governor's office that if a FOIA request were made, it might not have to be responded to if there's an internal investigation. Well, I've added language to clarify that that investigation should have to have been started before the FOIA request comes in, because I'm sure no one would like to see a situation where someone requests a FOIA, the governor doesn't want to respond to it, and so she says, oh, that is now under investigation and we're shielded from having to respond to FOIA. I think we should be as clear as possible with these to make sure we prevent those types of potential abuses. And then one other change is that records that have not been retained for 30 days are going to be exempt from FOIA, and I don't think there's clear language right now that would prevent a situation where records could be handed around every month or so and say, well, we actually never had them for 30 days. It should be 30 days total, whether they've been held consecutively or not. So these are a few of the changes, and I'm encouraged by a lot of the feedback I've gotten from members, again, on both sides, that after these bills are passed, that we can continue the conversation to make FOIA even better. Thank you. I encourage a yes vote on my substitute and ask that my comments be printed in the Journal.